No.
Hello, hi. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. So your name is Mohammed.
Yes, Mohammed, yes.
Okay, nice. There's a fly on your head.
Yes, it's flying over here in my house. I'm trying to get rid of it, but
Oh
uh
dear.
doesn't
So
want to.
where are you? Where are you from, Mohammed?
I'm from Morocco.
Morocco. Oh,
Yes,
that's
yes.
interesting. I've never had a student from Morocco actually. So
The first time?
it is actually. I don't know why that is, but yeah.
Yeah, glad to hear that.
Hmm.
I have a question
Um,
for you. Can I ask you something?
of course.
Yeah. So I want to talk about prejudgments. Where some people fear of other people's judgments. What do you think about this? Should we, you know, uh, care about other people's judgment, or just we should move on and keep going?
I don't think you should care about it. That's my view anyway, because if you're confident in yourself, then other people's judgments or negative judgments aren't going to affect you. So, why do you ask? Did you have any experience of that recently?
I think everyone has experienced that, where whatever you do, people will speak about you, will say sometimes bad things about you. That's obvious.
Yeah. So, what kind of example happened to you recently?
Um, so just when I was like when I was like at my first days of learning English, people start saying you're making too much mistakes, and that's at first I was like it was like an obstacle for me. I wasn't able to move on and to improve, so it was affecting me bad. But over time, I start to learn from my previous mistakes, so I would not care about what other people have to say about me. So yeah.
Yeah. I think obviously, learning English. It's like, yeah, I think what I like to give is called a constructive criticism, where I judge your English, but I always do it from the point of view that I'm trying to help. Yeah, I think some people might bring you down and say, "Oh, your English is terrible."
Yes,
See,
yes.
that's
That's
totally
what I
wrong.
thought
Like,
about.
and really, when they say stuff like that, they're angry at themselves for some reason. Personally, I think your English is okay. Actually, I think that you have an accent, but everybody has an accent when they speak English as a second language.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm quite sympathetic because I'm half English and half Greek. So my dad is Greek and he spoke English as a second language. So,
Oh, really? So what is your native mother tongue?
well, I was born and raised in England.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but what happened a few years ago? My parents retired to Greece, and a few months ago, I moved to Greece as well, and I do Cambly full time now.
Mm-hmm. How is life in Greece? Did
Uh,
you
I
like
really
it?
enjoy. I really enjoy it. Yeah, I'm really struggling with the language myself because I'm trying to learn Greek. But my quality of life is much better here than England, and I think England has a good reputation for some reason. But there's a lot of downsides to living in England as well.
Really?
Definitely. Yeah, the thing that you probably don't understand is that in countries like England, just I don't know. In Greece, I find that my neighborhood cares about me, which is a weird feeling. Like, but in England, you don't really get that feeling,
Oh
unfortunately.
my.
Like, the free things, uh, and I imagine you probably get that in Morocco as well, where the local people they know you and they value you. But in England, I never really felt that. Everyone's kind of stuck in their houses.
Yeah. All right. I mean, Morocco is different. Morocco is like united. It is a united people and community. You know,
Yeah,
uh, an earthquake happened last month.
yeah,
Yes. So you can't imagine how many people go to the area where the earthquake happened, and they gather, they gave aid, they support the people that were affected by the earthquake. We by nature, Moroccans are really, united, and they uh, they tend to be, give solidarity and such a thing.
Yeah, see, in England, we don't really have that right now. We're going through an interesting phase where it's all okay. We're put in a position where people are embarrassed to like being English. It's very weird. I don't know what's going on. Like our government doesn't even like native people. So it's a very strange position that we're in at the moment. You know, I
What
don't really know what
happens, for example, when a person die?
I mean, obviously, I mean, what happens when a person dies? Well, I mean, the close friends and family turn up to the funeral. Uh, but the problem in England, I think, is that people aren't used to expressing themselves in public. So
Yeah.
people don't know how to express their emotions. I've actually never been to a funeral, actually. I probably should have been to a funeral, but I haven't been yet. I'm 29 and I haven't been.
Yeah. Well, in Morocco, I think, it's totally different from England. When a
Is it
person
like a
dies,
public thing? Public.
really, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
People will come to visit and give their support. Yes, even if they don't know you. Just
Oh,
when,
really?
yeah,
Wow.
people passing by, if there are a bunch of people passing by the funeral, they will enter the house of the family, and they will, show their respect and support for them. Yeah,
Oh, that's lovely. I mean, that sounds a lot. That sounds a lot better. I think.
yeah, yeah. In
Yeah.
hard times, people united here. Yeah, even if
Good.
you have a problem with a neighbor when in funeral, the problems, comes down, and really, you see something different.
Well, that's really good. That's lovely to hear. I mean, it kind of confirms my suspicions. When you go to a Western country, I feel like you have everything, like apart from like soul and heart, but you have everything else.
Hmm.
But you don't really have what's truly important. I feel like you replace your soul with like possessions and money, because I've lived in a few Western countries and I've seen this like every time. The more Western the country is, the more rich the country is, the more detached the people are from reality. I used to live in Iceland as well. Do you know
Hmm.
where Iceland is?
Yes,
Very
yes.
cold country, very rich country. The living standard of every person in that country is incredibly good in the financial sense. However, I
Okay.
found that people were very deprived emotionally. Many people were struggling from depression and poor health and just being sad and
Because
lonely. Yeah.
they don't tend to be social with each other. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
they're very, very awkward people. They don't know how to like interact with each other. They were very difficult people. And it was crazy because it's like, well, they have everything. It's like, well, how did this happen? Um,
Yeah. Uh,
so I
and
think
then
about
you
that. Yeah.
realize that money is not everything.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I make in Greece, I make less money than I did in England, but I'm a lot happier. I mean,
Yeah,
I go
yeah.
to the
Happiness
beach.
is relative. Yeah, it's not just money. It's a bunch of other things. Yes.
Yeah, I
And
go to the
also, I
beach.
think, because of the religion also. Yeah,
Yeah,
you believe, there is a life, after this life, and you start to give up things, like, you just want to have a good house, for example. You don't want to have multiple houses or such a thing. You just start to care about people that live next to you, and yeah,
yeah, exactly. Anyway, I'd love to talk to you some more, but we're running out of time. So
yeah.
anyway, I hope to see you around again, and you enjoy the rest of your day. It's been lovely talking to you, Mohammed.
Thank you so